want to say a few words about the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. And I'd also like to make some brief comments about what Senator Manchin said earlier today.
Senator Bernie Sanders had a press conference today calling out Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema for failing to support the widely popular infrastructure package being pushed by the Democrats in the Congress.
Now, Senator Manchin, as I understand it, talked about today about not wanting to see our country become an entitlement society. Well, I am not exactly sure what he means by it. Does that mean that we end the $300 direct payments for working class parents? Does Senator Manchin think we should once again have one of the highest levels of childhood poverty of any major country on earth? At a time when millions of seniors in Vermont, in West Virginia, all across this country, have teeth in their mouths that are rotting, when they can't afford hearing aids in order to communicate with their grandchildren. Does Senator Manchin not believe that we have to end the absurdity of the United States paying by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs?
Bernie Sanders correctly pointed out the absolute necessity to lower drug prices across the United States of America. Bernie Sanders also went out to call out Joe Manchin for not being specific. Apparently, Joe Manchin thinks it's enough to say that he's against entitlements without giving any specifics as to why he's opposed to this bill.
Poll after poll, including polls in West Virginia, show that what we are trying to do in this reconciliation bill is enormously popular among the American people.
And what Bernie says here is super, super important. Not only are these policies popular around the country, but they're popular in West Virginia. They are popular in Joe Manchin's state. When Joe Manchin ran for governor, he won every county in West Virginia. And when people saw his moderate centrist take, well, what happened? He lost support, and West Virginia is more red than ever. And that is Joe Manchin's fault. Joe Manchin's strategy of selling out to giant corporations, it turns out, is not one that's popular even among the people of West Virginia. And this is the problem that we're seeing, where these politicians know that they have a parachute package waiting for them. If they do eventually lose their seats, they can just work as some lobbyist for a giant corporation and make comfortable money for the rest of their lives. I'm pretty sure that's what Kyrsten Sinema is looking forward to.
48 out of 50 members of the Senate Democratic Caucus support the bill, and 210 members, about 96% of the House Democratic Caucus, support the bill. And by the way, the President of the United States supports the bill.
The media keeps pushing this idea that all of the Senate Democrats should meet Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema halfway. But that's absolutely ridiculous, because Bernie Sanders is right. It is 48 Democratic senators versus 2 Democratic senators. They shouldn't have equal bargaining power in this conversation. In fact, the Democratic Party should really be using this as an opportunity to strip away any type of leadership or committee positions that Kyrsten Sinema or Joe Manchin have. Because if they're not willing to play ball, why would the Democratic Party give them any positions of importance?
Senator Manchin has been extremely critical of the $3.5 trillion proposal that many of us support. In fact, 9 out of 11 members of the Budget Committee support. But the time is long overdue for him to tell us with specificity, not generalities, we're beyond generalities, with specificity, what he wants and what he does not want, and to explain that to the people of West Virginia and America.
And all Bernie Sanders is even asking for right here is for specificity from Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. Because the truth is, they don't have any underlying things that they're asking for. If you think you're confused and the media thinks they're confused about what Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema want, the truth is, they don't know what they want. All they know is that they don't want anything that would cost their donors any money. They don't want to raise taxes on rich people, they don't want lower prescription drug prices, and they don't want to lift people out of poverty.
Is that really too much to ask?
These aren't even radical changes that Bernie is asking for. These are basic reforms that don't even bring the United States to any type of international standard. They're not even talking about doing public health care. They're just talking about mildly reforming already means-tested programs. And this just shows the absolute shamelessness of Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin.
In other words, we are taking on some of the most powerful special interests in this country.
This is Ben Carollo with Rebel Headquarters. You can catch my show Galaxy Brain every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on the Young Turks Twitch channel. You can also follow me on Twitter if you want to stay up to date with my content.